Tuesday the 13th of February. About to drive Nigel out of the lockup, but it wouldn't start. And after this little scene, I did get it started, but there was something very, very wrong. Hello. Something rather curious just happened then. I was moving Nigel out so I can fit the gas struts on the tailgate, and I was turning the key and nothing was happening, which quite often the spade connectors, they don't get a particularly good connection, and so messed about with it. Nothing. Give it a little tap with the hammer. Started, but then switched itself straight back off again with a rather uncomfortable sounding noise. And I'm actually quite concerned that the belt's just broken, the cam belt. It shouldn't have done, because it's only been on 2 years. But I'm going to take the cam cover off, but I'm really quite concerned. Honestly, I'm going to do. Oh well. I've got my 8mm socket out. I'm going to take the cam cover off. I'm going to make a cup of tea first, and honestly I actually feel a bit queasy. It's weird that, because it can be fixed whatever the case, even if the worst has actually happened there, which it shouldn't have done. It could need a whole new engine, or at least the whole top and bottom part. So I've seen one with a broken cam belt before, and it breaks pistons as well. So I might as well just get them and do it. Oh, honestly, I feel really queasy. But, whatever the case, this car will always have jobs done to it. I'll never give up on it. I'm going to do a Rick Astley with it. But, the only experience I've had with a snapped cam belt was in a truck that I used to have before Nigel started, and I bought it because it had all the service work done on it. But whoever had bought it off bodged up the bottom end really, really badly, and eventually it just gave way whilst I was on the M1. Right, well that's all still there. But listen to this. That's the sound of no compression. Which is why, when it went with a funny, because it did start and then just suddenly stopped, which is why my assumption was the cam belt had actually come off somehow, or the tensioner had broken. Obviously that did strike me as being a bit odd, because 2 years ago I did the cam belt and the tensioner, and in actual fact over the past couple of years it's had all of that engine work done anyway, so it should be good for another 4 years or so at least. So I decided to remove the spark plugs to see if there's any evidence of anything going wrong there. Compression's always been quite a good thing with this car, because it's always been one flick and it's basically on. You don't even hear the starter motor half the time if you're not listening. It's just, yeah, it's been one of the best starting cars I've ever had. 10 minutes later and I have a result. Well, I've got it going, but it wasn't sounding very happy then. What a moment that was. Genuinely, what a moment. First thinking it was the cam belt or the tensioner, then it could only be like a hole in the piston or a valve that's burnt out, and now it's fine. And now I don't know what I've done with the bloody cam cover. How'd you lose a big piece of plastic like that so easily? What could have caused that then? Pity I didn't film it once I did get it started, because it was running really lumpily, almost like the coil packs had gone wrong. But then it just cleared up and it seemed to be chuffing out a bit of oil. So I have left this car stood for nearly 2 months once without starting it, and it just started on a flick. Whether there's any significance of it pointing ever so slightly down the slope, I don't know. What do you reckon? Who's got any ideas? Let's get back to the proper business now of sorting Nigel out. Thanks for watching. This is the next day, and I went back to Nigel, but it started fine. So I am really at a complete loss as to what happened there. And I just hope it doesn't really happen again. But at least if it does happen again, I won't be in a panic about it and find myself making a cam belt snap reveal video. But, you know, I did it. Thought you might want to see it. Thanks.